ProMT is a world-leading provider of automated translation software solutions, also known as machine translation or MT for short. ProMT offers translation solutions for home and business use. This video is a short tour of the web-enabled ProMT Translation Server, PTS for short. We're not going to cover all the capabilities of this product. Primarily, we will concentrate on the ease of use for the end user and the excellent translation quality. Let's take a look at PTS. In PTS, you have several tabs available on your left-hand side, starting from the Administrator tab, where you could indicate different groups, different users, and the roles of those users. You also have the ability to indicate topic templates or profiles, and we'll cover that in a moment. This is the ability to aggregate all of your translation settings and to continue reusing them. You also have a list of dictionaries that is available for use, as well as a dictionary editor, giving you the ability to edit, modify, add, delete entries from dictionaries. Finally, you have various different types of translation capabilities. You can translate a piece of text, as we will in this example. You can translate a file. We support MS Office, PowerPoint, Excel, Word, as well as XML, HTML, and TXT. So the vast majority of popular file formats are covered. And finally, you can translate a URL. Lastly, you have an electronic dictionary available to you for reference, where you could check specific terms or phrases. So for this exercise, for this tour, we're going to take a look at a couple of examples of text translation. I'm going to translate from English to Spanish using the general or out-of-the-box topic template or profile. We have two sentences. I'm going to paint a picture today, and where is the paint? So let's click the Translate button and take a look at what we get. Here we have the translation in Spanish. And the thing that I'd like to draw your attention to is the fact that paint is being used in two different contexts in English, two different parts of speech. In the first sentence, to paint is being used as a verb. In the second sentence, paint, as in a can of paint, is being used as a noun. You could see that without any customization of the engine whatsoever, we actually get the correct translation. The engine is clever enough to recognize that in the first sentence, paint should be a pintar. Here's our infinitive ending for to paint. And in the second one, it's a can of paint, la pintura, the feminine singular noun. So this example proves to us that the engine is fairly robust and can distinguish between different parts of speech already out of the box. Now, let's look at a more complicated example. The switch on the Apple laptop is not working properly. So let's translate this, again, out of the box without any attached dictionaries and see what we get and talk about it. Again, we'll press the Translate button, and here's our translation. So I'd like to draw your attention to two things. First of all, you can see that Apple did not get translated as apple in Spanish. In fact, we have apple, the fruit that we eat. So clearly this is a mistake, but it's a mistake that can be remedied very easily. The reason for this mistake is that apple is actually a real word in the general dictionary of the engine, of the system. So the engine thinks, without any prior information, that we're referring to apple, the fruit that we eat, rather than the computer manufacturer. But we're going to fix that very quickly. We're going to go to a setting here called Preserved Words, and we're going to tell the engine that whenever we see the word apple, it should not be translated. So we're going to add it into the preserved words list. What this tells the system is that anything that is in this list called preserved words must be preserved and must not be translated. Even though I did this manually, this is actually a TXT file that can include all of your product names, all of your proper nouns, all of your non-translatables. Now, let's talk about something else. The word switch, which got translated into Spanish as interruptor, is actually correct. This is a perfectly valid translation. But obviously different companies have different ways of how they say things. So let's say, for the sake of corporate branding, that this is not the term that we want to use. We want to use another term. We could solve that very easily as well. We simply go to dictionaries, and now I'm going to plug in my dictionary called Alex, and I'm going to attach it to the translation. So two things are going on here. Number one, I have an attached dictionary, Alex, which will change this term, interruptor. And secondly, I have my preserved words. I have my apple, so apple will not get translated as a fruit. So now let's give it a whirl again and see what translation we get. So now we have apple remaining as apple due to the preserved word, and you can see that we have a different translation for the word switch, conmutador, which is actually correct as well as interruptor, but this is the translation that we would like for our corporate branding. So this concludes our tour of the translation capabilities of the ProMT Translation Server, PTS. Thank you.